Welcome back to the Milwaukee Show, and today we are talking about the game number 2 between the the Vegas Golden Knights as they win this game 3-1 against Dallas in Dallas, which means they win both away games and are up on the board 2-0 in the series after goals from Marchessault, Noah Hanifin, and Jack Eichel give them, well, Jack Eichel's was an empty net goal, but still, the 3 goals give Vegas the 2-0 series edge, and I don't know what else to think other than Vegas looks like, well, first of all, before I say that, this series feels like this is the conference final. This series, and I know people have been saying that about other series and stuff like that, especially the Avs versus Jets one after game 1, but no, like, those people are wrong. This series is the game of the West, and I would dare say that the Tampa Bay versus Florida series is the conference final of the East, because those two matchups, I think those are the teams that have the cards to go all the way, and because it's happening in the first round, it's like that's their toughest competition. That is their opponent to beat, and they're getting that out of the way right here. And I think this could go either way. And this is one of those series where the numbers are not telling the truth, right? It is not that Vegas has been dominating Dallas 2-0, right? This has been a tight series between these two teams with goaltending that has been a beautiful thing to watch. Not as much as the Florida-Tampa series, but beautiful. Ottinger and Thompson, unbelievable. And then the goals are not very high. The goals that they're getting are I don't want to say chippy, but like they're fighting for them, right? This isn't just like, and he gets it to the point, shot there, and it's in. You know, like it's not something ridiculous where it's just like goal after goal. It is guys fighting, shot from the point, off the pads, out, oh, another miss, and like, you know what I mean? Like it's over and over again of just these two teams fighting for their lives to score a goal and just can't do it and just barely get the edge. Because really an empty net goal game like this one, like it isn't a 2-goal difference, right? It really was a 1-goal difference in this one. It went right down to the wire, 2-1. And Eichel is able to bury it. And this one, it starts off with Robo getting the first goal, which was a beauty of a goal, his second one of the series on the power play. But then Marchessault just storms back, just like I think it was like a minute and a half, 2 minutes later, after that goal with just a good, just fight for it goal against Jake Ottinger. Noah Hanifin's goal was also a nice one as well. And after Noah Hanifin's goal, it was just square. These two teams just going back and forth, Knights going at the battle against the Cowboys. And it just came up for Vegas, right? And right now, it was just like, it was such a strong game that I usually can pinpoint an issue with a team, especially a team like Toronto. I like to get out my coach's board and show the issue with this play, but really, these two teams don't have any issues, and that is why I think this is the conference final. It's not one of these two teams the defense failed them again, or defense made a mistake. It's there isn't really a mistake. I mean, obviously, if you score a goal, there was a mistake made, but it's not like these two teams have any sort of breakdowns, if offense slightly fails them a little bit, then the defense is there to catch them, or the goaltending. It is just even, these two teams, just back and forth, even game. But Vegas, right now, as they win this 3-1 and own this series 2-0, I gotta say, they look ready to go back-to-back. They look cup ready. This team is the same team that we saw won the Stanley Cup a year ago, except it's better. Not just with the additions. I'll get to the additions. But with Marchessault winning the Conn Smythe and then setting a new goals record for a Vegas Golden Knight. With Mark Stone joining the lineup and looking as good as ever. His combination with his new teammate has looked very good with a forecheck kind of play. And I guess I'll talk about it now. Noah Hanifin and Tomas Hertl, especially Mantha as well. But those two guys, Hanifin has been huge. He's part of the play. He chips in on offense. He's got assists. He's got goals. He's got goal. And, him playing, he plays defense, he's definitely chipping in offensively. Then Tomas Hertl is good both ways, he's throwing the body around. And that's one thing, too. This game is, such a fun one to watch. It's just the only difference is that there's an element missing, and I think is that these two teams are so even, and especially since Vegas does play, I don't want to say a boring game, but they do play, since their systems are so strong, they do play a very systematic and good breakdown, not trap, but they play, I don't want to say boring, but they aren't like that quick, like super goal, like, oh, going around, like, like all like the crazy stuff that's going on, like Dallas would. So they like shut down Dallas, and it makes these games, I don't want to say boring. It's not boring. I love watching these games. Hell, I watched the game from the shower yesterday, actually, because I just didn't want to miss any of it. But there is just something about Vegas, just how just systematic they are in shutting down a team that's so offensive like Dallas, and this is what they did last year, right? And that is why I'm saying this about Vegas. Is last playoffs, Vegas made every team look like a dummy. They made every team look like they were just a shell of themselves and didn't deserve to be there. They made the best goaltenders. They made Ottinger. They made Bobrovsky. They made who the hell did they freaking play? They made, whoever the hell they played. They made these super good, they made, Corpusalo. No, they didn't play freaking, who the hell did they play in the first round last year? They made, Vegas play, whatever. Doesn't matter. But they made all these goaltenders just look like fools. Ottinger, Bobrovsky, the goaltenders who brought them all the way to this point, just bounced them out of the playoffs like it was nothing. Like it didn't mean anything to them. And Vegas, they just do this every time. And they're not doing this to Ottinger, right? And that's why I think this is the conference final where Dallas has really stepped up their game defensively and goaltending and offense. Like, they are making even this team, who is my other pick to win the Stanley Cup, just look like they even them out, and they don't even make it look like there's a high stakes to it, right? They make everything look seamless, and they just shut down Dallas. So much so, they keep a team that is so lethally offensive that they can keep rolling guys out there to one goal. Last game, what did the last game? 3 goals. They scored 3 goals, but the one was late, so it was whatever. But anyways, like, it's just incredible what Vegas can do. They are so good. They are so stacked. They are so playoffs built that it's incredible that no other team has like tried to copy them yet. And it's just crazy. And I cannot wait to see what happens when they go back to Vegas and the crowd there is going crazy to see that opening. They do the intro that they always do. That's so amazing and so fun to watch, and just see how the home team reacts. But that is all to say that Dallas is still in this series. Because once again, this is one of those series that it could have easily gone the other way. It's just Dallas just couldn't get that little bounce that they would need, right? It's kind of the same thing with Carolina last year against Florida, where it's a sweep, but it really isn't like that doesn't tell the story. These two games could have gone, this easily could be 2-0, right? And I know everyone wants to say that. I'm sure Toronto fans would say that about their series. But no, this is different. This is really an even matchup where the bounces just went Vegas's way, and they and I don't want to just say that like take credit away from Vegas, but Dallas could have done the same thing. They could have gotten there. They could have tied up the series. They could have had the 2-0 lead in the series. They could have brought this to overtime, and it is just, I don't know. It's over and over, and Dallas, they could still come back. The series is 2-0. They could easily win the 2 games away, just like Vegas did. And the only thing that worries me about that is that it's Vegas, of all places. It's Vegas, one of the most enigmatic crowds, one of the loudest barns, one of the craziest buildings to play in, and one of the best defending home teams in the NHL in Vegas, especially in the playoffs. And they're going to go in there winning 2-0 in the series, go home wearing those golden jerseys, go out on the ice to defend the Stanley Cup in the playoffs for the first time at home since winning it. And this just spells bad for the Dallas Stars. I feel really good about Vegas's odds going into this one. Dallas, they can push back, and I could see them winning this first game, but that first game is going to be tough. Winning the second game away could be more possible, but if I feel like this one's really hard, and they lose this one 3-1 in the first 4 games of the series, then going back home, obviously that didn't really give them that much of an advantage. So to me, Vegas, I like their odds. They're looking like they're ready to go back-to-back this playoffs, and it's just every piece of the puzzle. The only thing that does worry me is with, like, the Ottinger situation. Because even with Dallas, like, I'm still not the biggest fan of their defense, right? They definitely fixed things up from last year. But the defense is still not there. And it does worry me that Vegas's offense really isn't cooking that much. And I worry with going into, like, the next round against a team like the Jets or the Avalanche, if the offense could really kick in with a guy like Nathan McKinnon, because the Stars don't really have a guy like McKinnon on the team, or Rantanen or Makar. So that does worry me. But for right now, to me, Vegas looks set on going to the conference finals at least. And I think this is the conference final. One of these two teams will go to the Stanley Cup final, I think. And that is all I got to say. So, Vegas looks good. The Stars, I know I've been pumping your tires a lot, but you guys have kind of lost me because Vegas just looks so damn good. But that is all I got to say. So, if you've made it this far, please, I'm begging you, please subscribe. Just please, just do me a little favor. Just subscribe. Please. Anyways, thank you for watching this. If you made it this far, too sweet. Have an amazing day and subscribe. And ta-ta for now.